Welcome to We Are the Remedy, where each week we highlight a person from the community who embodies the idea of people helping people.
Hi everybody, my name is Mark Machado. I'm a realtor with Corcoran Global Living, and I am a proud sponsor of Donuts for Breakfast and We Are the Remedy. I believe that Desire to Inspire Studios is a great and safe place for kids to learn. The opportunity to be able to come out and experience what it's like to be on a set, experience what it's like to work with other people, experience what it's like to have to create and build relationships with people that you're going to work with is so important. We need to respect our youth, and we need to teach them, we need to help them grow. And I think this is a great opportunity for us and myself as a sponsor to help those kids grow. If you like this programming and like helping our youth, please consider sponsoring the show. Thank you.
You just do this. Wow.
Move it around.
That's pretty incredible.
Put him to sleep.
Right?
Lush is good for down here, but your hair might break it, so you can tell you that.
Hey guys, we're live.
Oh,
Yes.
all right. So, welcome to We Are the Remedy, where each week we meet someone from the community. We have someone join us who's from the community that embodies the idea of people helping people. Today we have with us Joe Meisch of Temple Massagers. I really just can't believe you have that name. We'll get into that. Anyway, and as always, my name is Trevor Henley, and I am the Inspirational Activist founder and executive director of Desire to Inspire Studios Foundation. And we're always honored to have Mr. Mike Pritchard, Dr. Michael Pritchard, with us.
Okay, go ahead.
And so, today one of the kind of issues that we're talking about is everything from what does TMJ and military service and
Right.
PTSD. PST. Is that Pacific Standard Time? Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
PTSD have in common. And so, Joe, why don't you actually just kind of tell us the story of, give us like the 30-second of what Temple Massager is, and then how this came about.
Yeah.
It's
I got
pretty
Good
remarkable.
story.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for having me on your show and your platform, by the way.
You're welcome. Thank you for joining
Grateful
us.
to be here and have this opportunity. Good to see you, Brother Michael.
Joe, love you, my brother. Good man.
Ended my Army career, literally holding stress in my jaw musculature. I'm walking around going like this, or like this, or like this. Getting headaches, migraine and tension headaches. And kind of putting up with it. And one fateful night, coming back from an Allman Brothers concert, great band, I was a designated driver, and the lights from the oncoming traffic on the highway were bugging me, and I felt the telltale signs of a migraine coming on. And so, literally, my sunglasses were on top of my head like this. I'm driving the car, kind of shielding the light, and I just intuitively pulled my glasses off and driving the car, and I'm stimulating around my eye. And it just felt good. It felt relaxed. And it helped me alleviate the eye tension around my eye. Mm-hmm. So there was a headache. Felt better. And I remember distinctively saying, I'm going to buy a Temple massager tomorrow. And no, you're not, was the answer.
So it sounds pretty straightforward, but I think there's more to the story.
Yeah.
So I'm going to college. I'm in the Army National Guard. And I just kind of keep toying with the idea, thinking about it. And so then I finally, at some point, came to the conclusion that I need to take this seriously. This could be something that has not been created before. And so I literally did patent searches, got an attorney to do a patent search, and they said, Joe, there's nothing out there like that. We recommend you file a patent. And so there began a really long journey. That's the inception of the story and where it came from.
Nice. Well, and thank you for that. And the universe does its thing, right?
Yes, it does.
So since the inception of this, I mean, one of the pretty cool things that I think you've done is you said you've donated over 5,000 of these to
First responders,
Service members,
veterans with
Yeah,
post-traumatic stress disorder.
Why?
So there's a lot of work here at this time. We're going back 2005 or so. A friend of mine who was my supervisor when I got out of the military, Sergeant First Class Michael Adelini from Sebastopol, California. I had just gotten out of the military. Mike stayed in. Mike was deployed to Iraq, and Mike was killed in action in Iraq. And he was a great guy, a real good leader. And so when Mike passed, I'm struggling with this temple massager, and it brought back a lot of memories. I had some pent-up survivor's guilt, PTS, whatever you want to call it. When I was 20 years old, a fellow soldier in my squad, Curtis Young, he drowned, and we were training down at Camp Roberts, California, and it's like 110, and you're in full gear, chemical, nuclear, biological, chemical suit. It's hot. You're doing all this training, and so I went from digging his foxhole, helping him dig his foxhole at 2 in the morning. The next day, the lieutenant came up and said, "Wink and a nod. Hey, we're going to do a river recon." Okay, well, that meant we get ourselves in the water a little bit. And after 14 days or so of no bath and no access to cleaning yourself, that really feels good. So we're just enjoying the swim, and unfortunately, something happened with Curtis, and he drowned. And I was the last guy in the water looking for him. And it's a current in the Nacimiento River right through Camp Roberts, California. Super cold water coming out of the bottom of the dam, so it's extra cold. It's about 110, and so I think the first responders told me that he fell in the water. He went into cold water too quick, just like getting in a cold shower. You kind of clench up a little bit, and he drowned. And so I beat myself up because I couldn't save him. This temple massager thing is going on. I decided to give it away because I saw it through prototypes of the device, rudimentary prototypes. It wasn't even as sophisticated as this. That I was getting positive feedback, and it was helping. And so simultaneously, I'm down in Hollywood with a TV show. And have an agent working with people this guy knows.
Yeah.
Martin Olson, Michael Meehan, Kurt Weitzman. Ultimately got to work with Michael Weinberg and got an agent. And hi, Annette Van Duren. And I had the opportunity to literally sell a TV show to Spike TV. He wasn't even around anymore. And I realized that the temple massager just meant way more than my personal desires. I was helping people. I was starting to give them away. Walter Reed National Military Medical Center, Bethesda National Naval Medical Center. They're using them in the Resiliency Clinic, Behavioral Health, the chaplain's office. And I'm getting kind of unofficial feedback that it's helping with calming. And so, I had a lot of friends that went to combat in Iraq, Afghanistan, all over the world, literally. And so I just, in honor of Private Curtis Young and Sergeant First Class Michael Adelini, I felt it was just a soulful thing to give these to those guys because I could see the effect of calming.
To make things better for your fellow soldiers.
Make things better for your fellow soldier. Give them something besides cookies or toothpaste or standard tchotchke stuff that people send way too much of. It's appreciated, but sometimes a little much. One guy can only use one toothbrush, right? So I started getting feedbacks. And so basically I got a letter from a combat commander in Afghanistan. They were at a forward operating base, and they were using the device after combat patrols. And it's dated. It's got an Army logo on it with the letterhead. And believe me, commanders do not have the time or the inclination to play around, and write letters frivolously. I met with the company commander. I was invited to the pre-deployment event where soldiers and their families were there preparing for the soldiers to deploy. It's called a pre-deployment event, right? And so they invited me in. I gave away, I think, 150, 200 devices, and they took them to Afghanistan. So I get this letter. These are called marching orders, man. And you got to keep doing it. You got to keep moving forward. So that was the motivator to donate, to keep donating. And so we're up over 5,000 now, and I still donate to veterans. And so, basically, there's a physiological effect of hitting the musculature to relieve the tension. That relates to headaches, temporal mandibular joint, TMD, TMJ. The psychological effect is when you're hitting these facial muscles, they're tied to the trigeminal nerve that goes into your brainstem. And so I work with people at different universities throughout Northern California, and they all kept telling me, Joe, your product's stimulating the autonomic nervous system. The aromatherapy on the front is stimulating the olfactory nerve, your nose. And so simultaneously, you're hitting the brain with massive stimulation because of the trigeminal nerve stimulation, the facial muscles, and the aromatherapy. And so it became evident to me that this was kind of a brain hack, if you will.
Yeah.
That could interrupt
I understand.
the thought process.
Right.
You deal with this a lot.
Depression. Yeah.
People start thinking about negative stuff that have happened in their lives. Trauma, civilian, first responder, military, it doesn't matter. Abuse, violence, car wreck, bad stuff is bad stuff. I call it the periodic table of bad stuff. You can't break it down anymore.
Right.
Right.
So,
And some of it's recycled
Right.
from DNA. I mean, you can be in the recycle of abuse of somebody from like early childhood, and many of the veterans that we work with over the years would say, "Man, I had post-traumatic stress disorder before I enlisted in the military from the stuff I had to deal with in my family and neighborhood." Yeah. And so this kind of thing, which I always loved about Joe, he's a passionate, kind, thoughtful guy, and he's driven to make things better for our soldiers out there. And that is that's as powerful a gift as you can get, a passionate healer who knows that he's making a difference. And what we try to do and have been trying to do is get philanthropic investment and folks to awaken to the fact that sometimes the simplest things that you would never even possibly imagine are the most powerful gifts that you can give to somebody to help alleviate, or as Michael has said, hack something. And the same with athletes.
Distract.
Distract. Hacks for boxers, mixed martial artists, that kind of stuff. And to just get an opportunity to get people to invest in this and see it for what it is. Because aside from what Joe has said, the emotional help that it gives to many kids who are traumatized, to many veterans who are traumatized, and helps alleviate folks with, because we're now working with Vets Mobile Dental Lab with
Right, I was
Dr.
gonna
Kim.
say, that's how we got
it's a
connected,
great time,
right?
Yeah.
Great time
Yeah.
for his Team J thing. I want to share one quick story with you that really brought everything home for me. I think it was 2014. I had wrapped up a lot of work with different universities. These PhDs would talk to me about the autonomic nervous system causing that brain chemistry to make you want to say, this feels good. Yeah. You know, as you're using the device, you're breathing deep, because aromatherapy's right there. You think to yourself, oh man, that feels really good. Well, that's a delay reaction. Your brain wiring, sending those signals to trigger the relaxation response. A delay reaction out of your mouth tumbles.
Right.
This feels good. So if you can, give people that ability to stop that negative intrusive thought from happening about some past trauma. You don't need to relegate the rest of your life because of your past, is what I like to say. You have the right to a brand new day every day you wake up.
Right. Well put.
And so this can be, to some people, a control mechanism. It's a simple little tool that gives people the power to say, we're not doing this right now. I'm not going to sit and think about Kurz drowning because something triggered me. I have the right to the rest of my life, and I'm not going to let the past haunt me. So what really drove me to keep doing this was I had a soldier, active duty combat medic in South Korea. He writes me on my website, and I'm getting passionate this show.
Yeah. Good.
So,
you need to.
So this guy writes me out of the blue. I have no idea who he is, and I'm paraphrasing here. And he writes me and he says, I'm having a hard time. I've marked my wrist with a knife. And the person that usually gives me a temple massage is not available. And I found your website. And I'm wondering if y'all offer discounts. And I wrote him back and I said, what's going on? This is all email. I said, what's going on, brother? And the price is paid. I served with 2 guys that gave all. This is free. It's already been paid for. Give me your APO. APO is a military address. So I send him a device. and I don't probe a lot. I'm kind of like leaving them alone. Offer what you can.
Right.
I'm not qualified. I'm not a counselor. I'm not going to step out of my lane, to use a military term.
But you are. Go ahead.
Through my own understanding of life, I guess I can take
Right.
that street cred.
Yes.
So that was early December 2014 or 16. And then the holidays come and go. We're getting the tail end of January. I write him. And I said, hey, did you get that device? And if you did it seem to help you at all? And he writes back pretty quickly. I don't know, it was like a week or two, and he says, I did. I owe you a huge debt of gratitude. I feel okay. For me to say I feel okay is substantial in light of 17 months of negative intrusive thoughts and suicidal ideation. I owe you a huge thanks. Sincerely, thank you. Sincerely, thank you. And this is anonymous, okay?
Wow.
But, I mean, you got to remember, I'm sitting in this cabin up in Sonoma County in the woods.
Yeah.
Now, I have gone all in on this temple massager thing.
You've given your life to this.
Literally. And so I'm talking about, running myself into the ground, inheritance, work savings, girlfriends, gone by. Car, vehicle, sold to make money. I'm on my bicycle in the rain, riding to the post office in Cazadero, and I'm going to the post office, and okay, I'm getting emotional. Sorry.
No,
It's
no.
okay.
So
No reason.
I go to the mailbox,
Good to get him.
and I'm literally down negative in the debit card, and I'm going like, I noticed like they give you this overdraft, and I'm like, okay, come on, you got to get this through. It was a case of devices going to combat engineers from Chico, California. They were deployed to Kuwait. And so I called the company, Chico, and I'm real up front. I'm like, hey, this is who I am. I got this company, this product. I'm seeing this and this and this. I'd love to donate to you guys. And they were like, this is actually something substantial. Okay, here's the APO. Very well, thank you. So I go to the post office to send this case to combat engineers from Chico, California. And I don't know if I have the money in the account for the shipping, right? So I go in there, and before I went in, I'm big on spirituality, man. I get down on my knees and pray to my Creator all the time. And I'm like, I don't want your help, but guide me, make me strong, and I will do everything I can to help others. And so I go in there, they charge the card on the shipping to Kuwait, and I walk outside. I'm in the pouring rain. Rains a lot in Cazadero, and I had like nothing. I mean, I was on food stamps at the time, I think, and I just felt unbelievable wealth. And
In what way, Joe?
in the way that my pockets were burgeoning
Yeah.
with gold bars
Exactly.
and rubies and platinum and diamonds.
Yes,
and something
everything.
else. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
But the funny thing about these was, Michael, and you know where this is going, brother, because you come
do.
from the same spot, is I can't show them to you.
Right.
And I can't go spend them.
Right.
But what I do know is those are the diamonds, the gold bars, and everything else that could be valuable. Those are the ones that I am taking to my grave with me.
Right.
And I felt amazing power, and I'm doing this out of love and compassion to be strong for my brothers and my sisters.
And
that
two
guy's-
young soldiers smiling in heaven.
and it's Curtis and Mike, and every time I send some off, I always say in the letter, I say, hey, here's the temple massagers, call me if you need me. Sponsored by Private
Right.
Curtis Young,
Right.
Sergeant First Class Michael Adeline. So
When you got that letter back from that medic asking for the help, and he expressed that he is feeling okay, what did you do right then and there when you read it? How did you feel?
Something you invented, something you brought up,
Yeah.
something you intended to heal others with because you were healing yourself. And now you've given it to
You know what I
somebody.
did? Literally, I kid you not. I read that. I started crying. I got on my knees and I prayed to my Creator, and I said, I am listening to you,
Yeah. Yeah, you are.
loud and clear, brother or sister Creator.
Yeah.
You just gave me fire.
Right.
My furnace is burning,
Right.
and I will chew holes through walls. And God help you if you get in my way.
Right.
You think he was a soldier?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, anyway, go
Or
ahead.
passionate at all? Any of it?
So, it was immediately saying thanks on my knees.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding, man. And so those are clarifying, unbelievable benchmark moments of me feeling so strong.
And what'd you learn about yourself, Joe?
I learned that you have more in the tank of being alive than you think you do at times. And there are more important things than money in this world that will pay you in ways that you can't get through money or school or whatever. Sometimes doing the right thing is the best thing. And if it's intuitive and you're getting the responses, you need to listen and know you're doing the right thing. Because, look, I had a lot of forces at work on me. Like the whole time investors were laughing. They go, what's this silly hippy-dippy thing? Or I don't know what they think, but they wouldn't get it, right?
Right.
And maybe it looks so primitive and ridiculous that it won't work. And so whatever their reasons were, it was a negative experience with this investment crew. And I hear a lot, and I'm not going to get into it, but let's just couch that with something I just told you.
Yeah.
So I got people talking to me about suicide prevention. I'm working with first responders, in Butte County after the fire. And I'm getting
so
letters.
many fires
I'm getting
in California
surveys.
now, too.
Yeah, and so these guys get wore out. And they're stressed. They're running to save our bacon. So I get these letters and surveys. I'm like, I know I'm doing the right thing. Trust yourself, brother. Trust your education. Trust your military training. Nobody's going to help me. And that's cool, because I prayed to my Creator to become strong. Therefore, I don't need your help. There is nobody alive that's going to help me more than my mission is allowing me to help others. So, I have this whole different approach from people that are value-based on money, and I get it. I need money. Everybody needs money. But there are times where you can balance that act, and I couldn't come across the right people, right investors. And I don't hold anything against anybody. I'm not blowing sour grapes here. But it feels more righteous, that way. And so I would like to mention one thing, unless you got another quick question.
No, go.
So you got this Grateful Dead temple massager here.
Yeah.
So when I tell you that not many people help me, you're going to like this story. So that's officially licensed, and I had that. It's all made in USA, California, mostly California. And so one day when I made the device new, I had this bigger handle, right? And there's this big space here. And I thought, man, I could put artwork on there, maybe Army, Navy, Marines or something. And I'm kind of a late blooming Grateful Dead fan. And, I'm listening to their music, and I'm like, wow, I really like this. I love 20-minute songs, first of all.
Right.
Who doesn't, right?
Trucking.
So I literally was like, wow, I wonder what it takes to get like the Steal Your Face on there, or say the Dancing Bears. I cold called Rhino Entertainment. And I just expressed myself. I'm a veteran. I got this temple massager. I donate to Walter Reed. I'm wondering what it takes to get a licensing agreement. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm up front. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But
So much simpler that way.
if you're just honest with people,
It's
they
so much
really
simpler.
appreciate that a
Yeah.
little more sometimes. Instead of trying to snow people
Right.
or whatever.
Right.
So I've already got my endorsements, by the way. I've got letters from Walter Reed. I've got a guy that's talking about suicide prevention.
Palo Alto.
I've got a combat
Yeah.
commander's letter. We were collecting data at Palo Alto, VA. And I'm like, I don't need anybody's endorsement, folks. This is where we're at. So I call Rhino Entertainment. I express what I'm doing. And the lady says, could you hold the phone for a minute? I'm like, yeah. She comes back and she says, the president of Rhino Entertainment would like to talk with you.
Wow.
What? Okay, cool. So next thing I know, this guy picks up the phone. He says, Pinkus. He doesn't say hello or how are you. It's just Pinkus.
Pinkus.
Well, I'm like, okay, that's your cue. Go, dude. And I said, sir, my name's Joe Meisch. I'm an Army veteran. I've got a temple massager thing that helps people calm down. And I donate to Walter Reed. And I was checking to see if he interrupts me. And he says, stop talking. Twice. Stop talking. I shut up. I'm a good soldier. This is the president of Rhino Entertainment. I'm like, okay, whatever you say. So I just shut up. And he says, I'm not kidding you. He says, nobody talks to me the way you're talking. But you're intriguing me, so go ahead. And I'm like thinking, okay, this guy's, he's got that power trip thing going. I'm going to feed right into it. Yes, sir. Thank you very much. So I finished telling him how I'm thinking that we could, maybe get some Grateful Dead temple massagers to sell to Grateful Dead fans to raise money that would help buy and pay for temple massagers to be donated to Walter Reed. Mr. Pincus says, so you're in the Army, huh? I'm like, yeah. you know, Jerry was in the Army, Joe. And I'm like, I didn't know that. He says, yep, didn't work out so well.
That's right.
And I said, well, you know what? He signed up. To me, he had a heart of the lion, and I'm leaving it right there. That's good enough for me. And he says, well, then you know shit rolls downhill, don't you? I said, yes, sir. He says, all right, so you're going to call Jason Wright at Warner Music in New York City in 20 minutes. Here's the number. And he very quickly rattles it off. And I wrote it down. I said, sir, would you please just say it one more time to make sure I got it? And I'm like, I don't even, this is happening so fast. I'm not even excited. It's just happening, you know? I can't even react. And I said, sir, repeat the number. He repeats it, and he says, you got it? And I'm right about to say thank you. He just hangs up.
Music industry.
Right.
Music industry.
Apparently, yeah. I learned quickly. So I'm
Talking
like,
about that this morning.
yeah. And
Yeah,
I'm
we
like,
were.
don't react to nothing. Look at your watch, dude.
Right,
You
right.
got 19 minutes, brother. So time
Roll
goes
on.
by.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, I call Warner Music. They direct me to Jason Wright. Jason Wright picks up the phone. Mr. Wright, yeah, my name's Joe Meisch. Oh, Mr. Meisch, we've been waiting for your call. Warner Music attorney.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is going on? It's beautiful. So long story short, they granted me licensing agreements to help me produce great looking products, and I'm really grateful to them. And so to close the story, I'm talking with Commander Melissa Burke at Walter Reed National Military Medical Center at the Warrior Family Coordination Cell, where you send donations. And she says to me, well, it's really amazing you're doing this on your own, Joe. And I said, well, I've got a little help here and there, you know, and you know, I do what I can. And you ever heard of a music group called the Grateful Dead? And she says, yeah. And I said, oh, well, you know what? They actually helped me by getting me a couple licensing agreements to raise money to get you temple massagers. She's like, that's incredible. Why didn't you tell me about this earlier? And I said, well, I just didn't think younger soldiers were into that generational Grateful Dead thing. And it's this little separate great generational thing. I didn't think about it, you know. I mean, I wasn't into the Dead when I signed up in the Army at 19, you know. And so she says, yeah, but you know what? The special operators we work with, so these are Marine Recon, Army Special Forces, Navy SEAL types. We treat them across the street, and they're older men. They might dig these Grateful Dead things. And I'm like, really? Would you like me to send you some Grateful Dead temple massagers? So I sent her a case of these, exact ones. And I don't know, a couple months goes by, and I get a phone call. And she's like, hey, I got something for you. Okay, what's that? And she says, look, unofficially, they loved them. Special operators loved it. And they dug the artwork. And thank you. You're doing good work, Joe. And I'm like, okay, boom. Get back on my knees, say thanks, give me more fuel, baby.
So
And
the key.
so I said, let me finish this, I'm almost done.
Yeah.
So Melissa Burke, I say to her, ma'am, correct me if I'm wrong, but did we just take complete American counterculture iconography? Complete counterculture iconography.
Where I was going to
Grateful
go.
Dead,
Where I was going to
and
go.
sew it together with the fabric
Yeah, right.
of not politically conservative, but military conservative, military culture. We sew together complete iconography, counterculture fabric of America with military fabric together of America, and we used it with the thread and needles of ideas and innovation. And she said, Mr. Meisch, you would be correct in that.
That's, I think, just what General Miley just talked about the other day. Learn about everything.
Yeah.
Open the doors wide. If you're in military culture, if you're a West Point graduate, and he was a Green Beret and a Ranger, you learn by opening the doors wide to everything. Anything possible to help heal those with post-traumatic stress disorder, with traumas, with situational awareness to keep you stimulated and relax your brain at the same time. This is all good stuff. And Joe, the thing that I love about Joe, aside from the fact that he is the most passionate guy I've ever met, right? And I just love you, brother. So there's moments when I first met him, I met him in a coffee shop, and I know this is hard for you to believe. I didn't say one word, but I was fascinated. I just sat there like Pinkett going, nobody talks to me like this. Nobody lets me not talk. And I sat there, and it was a wonder for two reasons. One, he knows what he's talking about. He knows what he's talking about. When we work with these young folks coming back from 3 and 4 tours, it's important for us to offer anything we can to help them heal and get home to their families. And I remember one time I was sitting there, I told Joe, one of the young guys, they said, he's very angry. And the shrink says, go see if you can talk to him. I walked in and I sat down and I looked at him. He's a New Jersey kid and he's got the unibrow. He's a tough kid. He's a tough operator. And I look at him and he's just staring at me because he has no idea who I am. But I'm not, he knows I'm not a shrink. And he goes, yeah, what? I go, and then he starts to cry, holding it a long time. And I go, you okay? And he goes, yeah, I finally found the right guy, huh? I go, yeah. Finally found the right guy. You alleviate stress by caring enough to push past the negativity and the people that are going to build walls and not allow you to have that bridge across. And you have to pursue it. I am driven, but I am the driver. Joe Meisch.
Well, and I love the fact that, being in a similar situation at one point in my life that, you're flat as broke, but you're going to do it. And you're going to continue doing it no matter what, right? And I think that there is nothing more inspirational than that moment, right? Where you're like, I don't know if it's going to go through. I don't know if the shipment's if I can pay for it, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Going to do it.
Right? And
it's
you
the
do
right
it,
thing to
and
do.
it happens, and it's inspirational, and that's the way it's got to be. I mean,
Dr. Martin Luther King's line is, if you can fly, fly. But if you can't, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. Keep moving forward.
Yep. Keep moving forward. Well, and I got to say, so I'm at about hour 12 in my day at the moment. Yeah. And I've been going pretty much nonstop since. And I literally just that little bit. It was the first time I put it on my head and did this temple thingy, massagey thingy. And after I took it away, I was like, wow, it's still working. And I'm already feeling just a little bit lighter.
Yeah.
Nobody can explain, all the doctors I've met with, nobody can explain that sensation that lasts. Right. The only thing that close I could come up to is like when you get a massage, you walk out of there and you just feel this different headspace and you kind of feel relaxed and it sticks with you. So it has to be some of the same kind of effect. But nobody's really been able to pin that.
Well,
I call it the
I think it's awesome.
We did a thing, Joe, this year. We did a benefit for a Night Spark for Reiki, and it's just human touch on cancer patients.
And it wasn't even touch. It was
because of COVID. Yeah, they are doing it by telemedicine. They call it, and we know that if telemedicine can work, and cancer patients can be cured, and they sometimes prayer, sometimes just the passion of a good healer and a person who becomes the medicine to you by teaching you that you have to take care of yourself. That's what this is all about. You take care of you. You take care of you.
You're giving back to yourself 100% when you're doing that.
Right.
You're not paying attention to anybody or anything. It's all you.
Right. Exactly.
So you are benefiting you in that moment.
Exactly.
Well, I know we are out of time today, so I wanted to do one shameless plug because we don't normally do this, but I like it, and it's a whole nother story. But how in the world did you get TempleMassager.com?
I was looking around because I started. The patent attorney said, "Hey, it looks like it could be real." Yeah. I simply did some patent searches. And I'm like, what are you going to call it? And I had people telling me, oh, you need to come up with some fancy European name or something chic,
I love it.
And I'm like, well, TempleMassager.com is available. I just went with a simplistic thing. And it wasn't it's because nobody's ever made a temple massager before.
Right. That's crazy. So
this is patented. It's brand new. It's never been done before. And it's just, I feel really blessed to find this lane that I get to operate in, and it was available, and we're going to be making more products. I just bought a few more domain names, and as soon as I can get some kind of back end and interest, we're going to be coming out with more products for specific other parts of the head and neck. And so we've got more to go. not
just the beginning.
end all be all. This is just the beginning.
Right on. Well,
Well,
thank
Joe,
you.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Sir.
Thank you very
Good
much.
man. You know,
Thank you for
to
being people helping
Appreciate
people and embodying that idea. Thank you everyone for joining us today. I also got to give a big shout out to Mark Machado, Corcoran Global. He is our first sponsor of our program. So Mark, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And I know we appreciate it because it's allowing us to continue going forward.
We are the remedy.
We are the remedy. Thank you for joining us. Go out there again, smile, share a smile with someone, make someone's day, give them a compliment, or a temple massager. Might even make them more than one day.
Yeah.
And, go out there and embody the idea of people helping people. So thank you very much and have a great day.
Thanks.
Hi everybody, my name is Mark Machado. I'm a realtor with Corcoran Global Living, and I'm a proud sponsor of Donuts for Breakfast, and we are the remedy. I believe that Desire to Inspire Studios is a great and safe place for kids to learn. The opportunity to be able to come out and experience what it's like to be on a set, experience what it's like to work with other people, experience what it's like to have to create and build relationships with people that you're going to work with is so important. We need to respect our youth and we need to teach them, we need to help them grow. And I think this is a great opportunity for us and myself as a sponsor to help those kids grow. If you like this programming and like helping our youth, please consider sponsoring the show. Thank you.